All right, this is Mr. Burgess. Let's get started with our lesson. So first of all, we've got just a couple of simplified questions that were the ones that we've just finished learning how to do, and we're going to review a couple more before we add a new level of complexity today. So as I look through my list, I've got x terms, 3x, 2x, 7x. They're all positive. So if I combine them, 3 plus 2 is 5. And 5 plus 7 would be 12x. All right, so let's move on. What about the y terms? We've got two y terms, negative 5y and negative 6y. When I combine those, I get a negative term, a negative 11y. And that's all of the terms that I have in this particular expression, so I'm done with that one. All right, next I have negative 3w and 8w, which when I combine together, I get a 5w. Then I have 2.5s and 7.5s, which when I combine, I end up with 10s. All right, so now today we're going to add a little new step to simplifying expressions. Some of your expressions might have parentheses in them like this with a number in front. So what do we do when we have that kind of a situation? Well, distribute means, and I'm just going to kind of draw it here, A and then B plus or minus C, whatever this happens to be in the parentheses. But what distribute means is we multiply the front number by each number inside, like that. And then we write down what the result is, and we can get rid of the parentheses. And once we've done that, if there's any other terms in our expression and they're like terms, we can combine them and do the simplifying that we just practiced. So here's a couple of distributive properties problems. So let's take a look. We're going to go 2 times x and 2 times 3, which will give us 2x plus 6. Here we've got negative 3 times 2 and negative 3 times 8. So that would be negative 6x, and then negative 3 times 8 would be negative 24. Awesome. All right, moving along, we've got another one here that has distribution property needed here, but we also have a plus 6x on the end. So let's see what we'll do when we get to that point. So we have 2 times x is 2x. 2 times minus 2 would be minus 4. And then plus 6x on the end. So if I combine 6x and 2x, that gives me a total of 8x. And then I have my minus 4 on the end. And that would be that one. So that's what we're talking about, the new kind of step that we're adding today, and that is this idea of having to distribute first and then combine the like terms. Let's try a couple more examples where things are arranged differently than they may have been in that first one. So if I do my distribution or distributive property, 2 times 3x, if I multiply there is 6x. 2 times negative 2 would be negative 4. And then out front I have a 1 plus the 6x minus 4. So if I combine 1 and minus 4, I get negative 3. And then I have plus 6x. Or I could do 6x minus 3, but that would be our simplified version of that expression using the distributive property to help us, right? All right, let's try this one. We have 6 times 8, which is 48x. And we have 6 times minus 8, which would be minus 48. And then we do plus 8 on the end of that. So 48x minus 40 is that particular simplification, so you can see how using the distributed property helped out there as well. All right, let's try one or two more. So we have negative 9k. Let's go ahead and write that down, just right off the top here. And I'm going to change colors. We got a negative 6 times k. So that's like saying negative 6 times 1k. So a negative 6k. And then negative 6 times negative 2 would be positive 12. So we do have two 6 terms there that we can combine, and that would be negative 15k. Okay, and then we add the 12 on the end, and that would be our simplification right there. All right, we've got this one. Now we got parentheses and a negative sign in front, but what we have to remember when we see that type of situation, that there's actually a 1 right there in front of the parentheses, so we'll multiply by a negative 1 to the 7 and a negative 5 to get the answer that we're looking for. So we have negative 3w, and then negative 1 times 7z would be negative 7z, and negative 1 times 5, negative 5 would be positive 35. Positive 35. Oh, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. That's actually negative 1 times negative 5, so that would just be positive 5. Positive 5. Let's get back there and fix that, right? You got to watch things as you go. So positive 5. And then on the end we have minus 6z. And that's positive 5w, by the way. So if we combine negative 3w and positive 5w, that would give us 2w. And then negative 7 and negative 6z would be negative 13z. Like that. Okay, keep it going here. We have one more problem that actually has a double distributive property look to it. So that means we better get a different color. We haven't used the orange yet. But that means we got 3 times 3d, which would be 9d. 3 times negative 2, and I'll put that time sign up there. 3 times negative 2 is minus 6. And also in this problem we have 2 times 3d, which is 6d. And then we have 2 times 5, which is 10. Okay, so if we combine our like terms, we got 9d and 6d. They would add up to 15d. And negative 6 plus 10 would combine to give us plus 4. So that's the expression that we get when we do a double distributive property and then we combine our like terms. So today's assignment, number 3, Alex expressions with distributive property, and remember to write down the problem, show your work, and circle the answer. Thank you very much.